Okay, we're back for another episode of Hammertime's Hammer Zone, and today we're sitting outside a townhouse, and you've just tried something. What were you drinking?
I tried some of that beer you made. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know what I made that out of?
No.
No, I made it out of beer of course it's beer. It's because it is beer, but yeah, it's my banana nut beer. I made it out of, besides the usual beer mix, you add some walnuts and some
that was good.
bananas to it.
Yeah, you did a good job there, Pete.
Gives it a nice kick. It's a nice dark...
yeah, it's got a nice light taste to it.
Yeah, well, it's got a light right now because it's still aging. Probably the end of the week I'll put it in the fridge to start to clear up and whatnot. Yeah. So, and some brown sugar. That always goes good.
Like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, so anyways, so you said you wanted to discuss Algoma Steel today. What's up with that?
I heard news that a company out of India brought it for $2 billion, $56 a share.
Oh, yeah.
And the only concern I have is that's a lot of money, and we have to know what this company's intention is for the community of Sault Ste. Marie and its workers.
Yeah.
Under Industry Canada, there's a thing that was called before FIRA, and it was to regulate companies that brought accusations out of Canada, and to make sure that they want to know if the company was going to, how much time they were going to spend in the community.
Yeah. Now I hear they want to add about 200 jobs, which is about what we lost with St. Mary's.
That's what I heard, but still, Industry Canada should go through this agreement with a fine-tooth comb. Yeah. And make sure they get it in writing, so this way they don't just come in here and raid the place and leave the community dry and leave the workers unemployed. So that's the job of Mr. Harper. The neoconservative that he is. Yeah. Now
so you're saying it's not Tony's job?
No.
It's not Tony's job as our local representative.
Probably, asking that question about it, but it's his job to see if he does right for the community of Sault Ste. Marie. Because he already screwed St. Mary's paper because of the high dollar.
Well, yeah, Florida
under the Canada.
Well, no, Tony did, but you tried to shift the blame to Orizzetti.
But he can drop the rate, and he had a whole year since 2006 election, but he sat there and said, let the market be damned. And then with Mr. Orizzetti, all talk, lip service, and guess what? Nothing's being done. And then he puts his face in the newspaper. Oh, can I help you? Pretend.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What was Tony's responsibility with St.
His responsibility is to get Mr. Harper to act. But Mr. Harper, he sits on the bench in the House of Commons and does the same thing as Pinocchio Fibble, because liberal conservatives and conservatives are the same. They're blue and blue light. They give lip service, but meanwhile communities get destroyed. That's why I brought up this thing about the Algoma Steel. Do your job, and if you cannot do your job, then call an election and then kick these bums out and put an NDP government that will act like they did in 1990 for St. Mary's Paper, the steel plant, and other industries like de Havilland, and they acted. They put their words where their mouth was. So that's the thing. And Mr. Harper, he can put up or he can shut up. It's one or the other. You can't be half pregnant. You're pregnant or you're not.
Yeah. So, now moving on a little bit. What do you think of this deal between the Liberals and the Green Party?
Mr. Dion and Mrs. May think people are stupid. They're trying to manipulate voters, how to think, how to vote. And meanwhile, if she thinks Mr. Dion is a great prime minister, just become a Liberal. Why play the games, the backroom deals like Mr. Broadbent said the other day on the TV program with Don Newman? So this is the same old game with the right-wing parties of May, Harper, and Dion.
Well, hold on a sec.
Conquer the population.
So you don't think there should be an agreement between the Greens and the Liberals?
No, the thing is, these parties are not social democrats.
Okay. But you're saying if there's going to be an agreement, they might as well just join.
So why don't they just become one big party
Here's
of the right, and the alternative
Here's a question then.
So that's the issue, and that's what's going to happen in this election. Because the majority of progressive forward-thinking, critical thinking, socialist voters, they're going to come out and vote against these corporate agenda parties.
Yeah, I just want to ask you a question.
Your question.
Okay, no, but I just got a follow-up question here.
All right.
2 years ago, Paul Martin's Liberals were kept in power by an agreement with Jack Layton.
No,
Why didn't Jack Layton just join the Liberals?
That was
And like Buzz.
No, you're comparing apples and oranges. You're trying to make day into night and night into day. That was a bill in the House. It was a financial bill that affected working class people, and that's relevant inside a House where minority governments do talk. You're talking about a different entity outside the House of Commons, so you can't mix the apples and oranges. So the bottom line is the NDP got action with Bill 148, and Paul Martin, he brought in a budget of $6.4 billion, I believe, for corporate tax cuts. And meanwhile, the NDP turned it around, put it into housing, transit.
But I mean, that's exactly my point.
That's my point.
Paul Martin was not.
If you want a government.
Hold on.
For the people, you got to vote NDP. These liberals and conservatives are not relevant.
Hold on,
they haven't done nothing for people.
Janess, we still have 3 minutes here.
Since the end of time.
Yeah, we still have 3 minutes here. You said that Jack forced action. Well, at that time, right. Paul Martin was a weak leader. He was a weak prime minister. Jack had him.
You got to talk to him.
Yeah. Hold on.
He chose Bay Street.
Let me ask the question.
So that's his choice.
I mean, Jack in the NDP had him by the ovaries. Why didn't Jack just squeeze and force more deals out of him?
But the liberals voted against fixing health care, and that's why we went into election. And it was the people that kicked out the liberals, not the New Democrats, like the liberals like to spin. It was the people, and that's an insult to voters.
But it was also, hold on.
The liberal conservatives out there for power, they have no principles at all. The conservatives and liberals are now relevant to working class people today.
But wasn't it also the people that put Jack Layton behind the Bloc Québécois, that made Jack Layton a fourth party? I mean, you can say that they kicked the Liberals out, but they still gave the Liberals a strong opposition.
All I'm saying is,
it was one of the
people voted, and at the end of the day, when people speak, you accept the verdict.
So you accept that the people put the NDP in fourth place?
No, what I'm saying is that people have a right to the vote, but when political parties like the Liberals and Conservatives like to manipulate, and now the Green Party try to manipulate, we're not going to run this candidate or whatever.
What about the Bloc? Are they trying?
Republicans are not that stupid. Yeah. They're not going to get conned again. They seen a right-wing agenda over 20 years of Mulroney, Chrétien, Martin, and Harper, and you know what? Blue and blue light. There's no difference. So the people have an alternative in the next election, the NDP on the left, and the four right-wing parties.
Okay. Sounds good.
That sounds good.
Okay.